Welcome to Good News Reflections from the Lakes Church here in Wapaka, where we're reading a chapter a day from the New Testament in the Bible. Today we're reading and reflecting on Mark 15. My name is Bruce Bushweiler. Thanks for tuning in today. Mark 15 tells the story of Jesus standing before Pilate for the final sentencing to death. The crowd shouting, "Crucify him." The soldiers mocking him, the actual crucifixion, his death and burial. Obviously, we can't cover all of that, so let's focus on verses 31 through 39, Jesus' earthly death. Reading from the NIV. This is the death of Jesus. In the 6th hour, darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour. And in the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of those listening heard that, they said, "Listen, he's calling Elijah." One man ran, filled a sponge with wine vinegar, put it on a stick and offered it for Jesus to drink. "Now leave him alone," he said. "Let's see if Elijah comes to take him down." With a loud cry, Jesus breathed his last. The curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. And when the centurion, who stood there in front of Jesus, heard that cry and saw how he died, he said, "Surely this man was the Son of God." It's a story of tragedy and triumph. The scene is so terrible that even nature could not bear to look upon what was happening. The land went dark for 3 hours. That should have told everyone that this was no ordinary person, and it did. That battle-hardened centurion was so moved to state that Jesus is surely the Son of God. And then came that terrible statement, my God, why have you forsaken me?" At that moment, Jesus took our life upon himself. He had done our work, faced our temptations, bore our trials. He had suffered all our life and this world could bring. At that moment, he experienced all this world had to offer except one thing, the consequences of sin. Sin is simply described as the separation of us, his people, from him. Jesus had never sinned, so he had never been separated from his Father in heaven. Now, Jesus had experienced everything humanity had to offer. Now, Jesus had experienced what it means to be a sinner also. His last word was finished. In the English language, we would say, "It is finished." But for Jesus, it was one word, finished. It was the triumphant statement. To me, though, the highlight of this moment in time was the often overlooked recounting of the curtain in the temple being torn in two. Prior to that moment, God's image resided behind the curtain, and the only person to go behind that curtain was the high priest, and then only one time each year. No one else was allowed to encounter God. When the curtain was torn, the way to God was open to all men. No longer was God hidden from man. We can meet God face to face. Meeting God face to face is a powerful, life-changing experience. If you desire that experience, all you have to do is ask God to reveal himself to you. He wouldn't have put his Son through everything we talked about today if he didn't want to meet you. If you've invited God into your life and want to better understand what that means, please call the Lakes Church and talk to Pastor Dean. But be prepared for exciting times ahead.